from Paradox, and added to that is a huge mod which changes the game completely called Black Ice. And on top of that, I just purchased an older DLC which is called La Resistance, which introduces intelligence and scouting and spying stuff into the game. A little bit about the game. It's a world strategy, World War II game. Pretty basic in its setup, but you have a huge amount of different mods made by the community to choose from if you want to change stuff up. My experience with this is I played the first, second, and third version quite a lot, and the fourth not so much. A little bit in multiplayer with friends, long-term cooperative campaigns, and then I haven't played a whole lot single player because the basic game is just too basic for me. But the Black Ice mod I've tried a few times. It's very complicated, it's very detailed, and it makes it almost a totally different sort of game. I prefer that very much more. Now, it was a long time since I played Black Ice, and I only played up until about the war starts. So I really don't know how hard it is or how easy it is. My guess is it's gonna be a whole lot harder than the vanilla game, which I want, because the AI is much too easy to fight. This game is on perfectly normal settings. It has almost no advantages for the AI, because I don't know how hard the game is on normal settings. I have boosted AI a little bit with attrition and planning entrenchment, but when it comes to general settings, which I don't know where to find, maybe up here, game options, study here, no. I just went with the Black Ice normal settings. If this is too easy, I'll restart on a harder level. I want the UK and Soviet Union and the United States to be really hard. I'm going to role play kind of this. Try to do a little bit better than what Germany did World War II, but play a kind of historical World War II game. I don't want it to go too crazy, which means in the end I don't plan on doing a sail event take over the world, because that should be too hard, which it was in reality. And hopefully I'll get stuck somewhere in Russia. Maybe I can hold out until 45, 46, and then I'll consider the game won. But we'll see. That is a guess. But I'm gonna play it as the AI is gonna have a lot of resources and have a decent maneuverability ability, and can put up some resistance. So my guess is it's gonna be a little bit harder at least than the vanilla version. What have I done so far? We are in 1st of July 1936, and I didn't want to record or stream the first half, which I played yesterday, because it's so overwhelming. Look at the event tree here, the focus tree. These are political maneuvers you can do, and they take time. It's so much more advanced and large than the vanilla tree, and I don't know if you can do half or a third or 2/3. In vanilla you can basically do almost everything. It's just what order you do it in. Here I doubt you can do. Maybe you can do. I don't think you can do it all, and I don't know what I want to skip and what I. So it's quite hard to decide what to do. But I started with the just basic top ones, the Kriegsmarine, Luftwaffe, SS. They are about to open a Junkerschule, which gives a research slot. I've also taken some political points here with Hitler giving speeches. Other than that, not much I've done. Built some extra naval dockyards. Not that Navy is going to be a big thing, but other than that, I haven't had time to do more than that in half a year. So it's going quite slow, even though they're very short. They're only 28 days compared to vanilla because there's so many more of them. But my plan is to go industry first, which I guess is over here with the kind of like political and industry. I think is over here. Then my second priority is going to be the army. My third is going to be the air force, and only fourth is my Navy gonna come into play. I'm not gonna do anything fancy with carriers. Almost no capital ships. If I do anything, it's gonna be a small invasion army, maybe for Norway and keeping the Baltic open, and maybe U-boat submarine warfare as well. But I'm not. I don't feel I have enough resources to waste on researching and building a lot of naval resources, except for the few basic ones that I can pick up here. So that is my plan, but I'm not very familiar with this huge focus tree, which means I'm fumbling around a lot. That's why I'm not playing on Iron Man mode either. I think it's too hard on me now when I don't know this mod. Because if I pick the wrong route here and do something, a really stupid mistake, I feel like I want to go back and save scum a little bit. Next, we have the new intelligence agency, which is over here. I have no idea what I'm doing here. This is entirely new here for me. Infiltrate administration. So what I've done is so far recruited two operatives, Otto Scorzini and some other guy here. And they're building intelligence networks in France and Poland. Of course, I consider like these nations probably gonna be taken out of the war, hopefully by 39 and maybe 1940. So why am I wasting resources setting up intelligence networks here? Well, it's a bit of a role playing, and maybe that actually will help me if the AI is really tough to take out. Then I plan on going on to the United Kingdom and the Soviet Union. I don't think I'm gonna do a lot of Balkan intelligence coup stuff this campaign. Well, we'll see, but that is not my plan for now. Gonna be pretty generic, setting up, stealing some blueprints, setting up invasions, setting up the Vichy regime, and preparing for Barbarossa. And Barbarossa is gonna be my main effort. So a bit boring, a bit historical, a bit dry, but it's a trial game with black eyes. So that is okay. So I don't know what I'm doing now is infiltrating the civilian administration. Am I doing that? I didn't. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, that's not. Why is it running this? Prepare. Maybe this just open up because this is something I can do now with what? Yeah, I'm 36% setting up a intelligence network, and maybe this is an option that opened up. I didn't see that. So that's all I know. I have two operatives. I am currently I'm what am I researching here now? No upgrade in progress. Okay, I'll have to pick that before next session. And I plan on becoming the spy master soon. 10 different branch upgrades. Research. Well, you have many more research slots than in vanilla, and that's because you have such a huge amount of different techs. Look at the industry techs here compared to this must be, I don't know, 5-10 times as many different techs, and they take about the same time. So again, I think you're limited to picking out like a few key techs that you want. You can't do it all like in vanilla. My main focus is going to be industry at the beginning of the war, and then setting up a decent army so I can actually take out Poland and France with accompanying air force. But I have like I'm not planning to do anything fancy. A strong army. That's basically it with the supporting air force. So when it comes to building buildings. No, that's my production. Sorry about that. Construction here. I'm setting up just 2 different civilian factories, 2.5, because that's basically all I can afford. They are more expensive. And there's a new building here called Recruitment Center that gives 75 manpower per week. Not that much, but it's gonna give me in the long run a few extra divisions. Don't know if that's worthwhile considering how much free manpower you get from your current population, but I like having manpower. I'm thinking that I can always build more military equipment and give these guys later in the war, But it's not fun running out of manpower in 1943 and losing the war because of that. Maybe we can prolong the war just a few months by building these recruitment centers early. Of course, I have to learn how to build rubber and fuel, but not in 1936. So that this is I don't know. I don't know how this works kind of in the vanilla game, how it works in Black Ice, how the balance is. I really don't know. You have well, production. Look at this. You have rifles and machine guns, but you have machine guns, air machine guns, garrison equipment, recon equipment. There's so many more. You have uniforms, so many different. So basically, what I'm building is the starting setup. I'm even keeping those old airplanes, and I'm trying to look in my logistics tab, see if I'm lacking horse transports. When I get new free factories from focuses, I increase horse transport because that's a deficit, and I just try to balance my budget and recruit and deploy a few new garrison and infantry divisions. I got then a let's go over to the land forces. You only have like what is it? 28 divisions, and that's with 4 new ones I got from an event. And I've started to with an event, I have started the first wave of divisions, and I guess I need equipment for that. So it seems like basically setting up the basic German army of 1939 that they went to war with is going to be an uphill struggle, so I'm not going to do anything fancy. But as you can tell, most of my stockpiles are in the green because the starting build procedure, which it has nice maximized production efficiency from start. That's why I want to keep them and not move around them too much. Is there because I like having this bonus with the production efficiency. It's basically if I change to something and more modern equipment, I'm gonna lose out amount of equipment, and I'd rather have a lot of old stuff for my garrison troops, second line troops later in the war, than fewer, a bit more modern. Not gonna build anything a fancy, super modern German army that you basically do in every Heart of Iron vanilla game. Other than that, not much has happened. I made some arms deal with China. I expect the Spanish Civil War is gonna come along very soon. It actually did when the game crashed late last night, so I know it should be coming up. So I have to prepare air forces. I'm training a few of my naval forces, trying to balance my fuel stocks with gaining a few navy experiences. I have been using, of course, my political power to appoint a few ministers and theorists and construction companies, and you have all these laws and government and national policies. It's overwhelming. I am probably missing something really really basic here. I did a little bit of overview on this tab here and tried to get a grip on it because it's so different from the vanilla setup version. But I'm trying to do basic, faster research, building more factories faster, getting more equipment cheaper. Nothing fancy. I'm not going for nuclears or rockets or four engine bombers or stuff like that. It's a very basic game, and as I said, hopefully that gives me a real challenge on normal. If not, I'm really prepared to start all over on a much harder difficulty, so that it's more similar to the real war where Germany was kind of bound to lose from the start. At least that's my personal opinion. So with that, that's about everything I have to report for now. And let's see how long this is. It's gonna be, what is the time here? It's about 15 minutes. That's perfect. Hopefully, I'll be back and report what happened in the next 6 months, maybe in a year or so, depending if something fun is happening, and make a little after action report about that. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe, etc. If you like what you've seen. Talk to you later. Bye, boys and girls.